Harsha, do post in our groups. Okay, very good morning, all. So, as part of yesterday's session, we have completed inheritance and types of inheritance, right? Then we have another small concept which I would like to cover off today. And then I'll go with other concepts which are left over. Right. Okay. I hope you are able to see my screen and you're able to hear my voice. Hope everything is fine. If you face any problem, please do text in the chat box. Okay, so coming to today's session, I would like to explain about super keyword. Okay, so please go to the keyword list also, the table which we have seen in unit 2. Okay, so you can just underline what all keywords we are covering. Okay. So then you may cross check whether we are able to complete those 52 keywords or not. Right. So what is mean by super keyword? What is the use of super keyword, and how do we use the super keyword? In which combination do we use the super keyword? Is the question now. Okay. So super keyword is nothing but it's a reference. It's a reference variable that is used to refer. Okay, used to refer which class? Super, in the sense we are referring to our parent class. Okay, super class, subclass, parent class, child class, generalized class, specialized class. Okay, base class, derived class. Terminology yesterday we have seen, right? So it is going to refer your immediate, okay, IMMEDIAT, okay, immediate parent class object. Okay, please note down. Is going to refer immediate parent class object. So if you want, you can also highlight, right? Super keyword is always pointing to base class or super class or maybe parent class. Okay. So scope of the super keyword would be obviously outside the class because it is referring to a base class from child class. Okay. So just like reverse of this keyword. Okay. So when you go with this keyword, it was pointing to this keyword. Come on, guys. This keyword is always pointing to which class? Come on. Yes, current class. This keyword is pointing to current class. Good, Divya. Okay. Whereas your super keyword is always pointing to your base class where the scope is outside the class. But whereas in this keyword, the scope is within the class. Understood the difference between this and super? Okay. Now let us see some uses of super keyword. So super, okay, so is used to invoke, okay, immediate parent class constructor. Okay. Next, super is used to invoke immediate, come on guys, immediate parent class method. In the similar way, super keyword is used to refer immediate parent class variable, right? It could be with respect to constructor, it could be with respect to method, it could be with respect to variable. Let us see a small example program onto it to understand with respect to immediate parent class variable, how it is going to work. If I take class parent, let me save it as first. Super underscore example. Super underscore example, right? Dot Java. Okay, I've created a parent class. Then I'm creating class child extends okay parent. Then I'm creating main method, main class, class super underscore ex example. Okay. Public static void main string args. And coming to parent class, what I want is I just want to declare a variable of maybe int I, okay, equal to 20. Now in child class also I want to declare the same variable with I value equal to 50. Okay. Now to understand the concept of super keyword, I'm going to just go with a normal method where I would like to display this value system.out.println. Okay. Please print value of I in child. Okay. Plus I. Right. Same way. So what value it is going to print? Anyways, now here, please print value of I in parent. In child only again. Okay. So here I'm telling super dot. Okay. Yes. Now to which class I have to create an instance, guys? Yes, I have to create to child class. Okay. Child C equal to new child. Okay. Then I want to call my method which is there in child class. So C1 C dot M1. Okay. Let's run the code. Java C super underscore ex dot Java. Compile time errors. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. I've shown you the output. Yeah. So what output you are expecting, guys? What output you are expecting here? So when I say print value of child, I'm displaying that statement 2 times. So what output do you expect? 50, 20, 50, 20. Very good. Excellent. Next. 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 50, 20. Everybody wants to go with 50, 20. Anybody wants to go with 20, 20? No one? Okay, fine. So why here it is giving you 50, 20? First time when I say please print value of I in child. Okay. You have to very seriously concentrate on this statement. Is that? Is that? You have to very seriously concentrate onto this statement, right? Here we have given child. Uh, Baba, don't concentrate on this statement. This is just a println statement, okay? It is in the codes. Whatever you give in the codes, that would be displayed. Don't worry about those things, okay? Our concentration must be on I value, okay? Whatever it is I'm printing here, that must be our concentration, not this println statement, okay? So I value, when I say I value, so what is the I value which is there in child? It is 50, right? Done. Now next, what I am doing, again print value of child. Okay. So what did I write here? Concatenation operator followed by super dot I. Now tell me, how is this super keyword going to work with respect to method? Okay. And how is this super keyword going to work with respect to constructor? How is this super keyword going to work with respect to variable? Okay, I said variable. I is a variable here. So now super dot I. So when I say super, it is referring to the immediate parent class. Okay, we have here parent. Okay, in this parent, I have already declared I value 20. So it is referring to this parent class I variable, right? So when I compile this code, this is what the result. Okay, for the first statement, obviously I'm getting I value is 50. Second statement, I'm getting I value as 20. Okay, in the sense, so I'll just change here. So it is printing parent class variable value. I'll compile it once again. Perfect. Okay, understood, guys. How we are going to use super keyword with respect to? Okay. So when I say maybe father and child, okay. So child don't want to display his property, okay. Or maybe child want to display his property and also child wants to display his parents' property also to their children. Okay, so he's telling next level to next level is telling boss, this is my property. What I have done hard work, everything, and this is what I have made ready for you people. And this is your grandfather's property. Now you can use both properties. Okay, fine, sir. So everybody is clear with this concept, so that I can move to the next concept. Yes, guys. Hope you are clear. Hope you are clear. Okay. Okay, fine. Now, sir, with respect to constructor, how it will work, sir? Okay. So, if I create a constructor, then how it is going to work? Let me create a constructor here. So, I'll just write parent. Okay, in the parent, I'm going to write system dot out dot println. And parent class constructor. Okay, and child extends parent. Then here, okay, let me remove this code so that again there won't be any confusion to you people. I'll create child class constructor also. Then system dot out dot println I am child class constructor. Okay. Yeah. So now what is the output you're expecting in this case? There's no super keyword which I have not used here. Now you tell me what is the output you're expecting here. Yes, guys. Sorry, guys. Okay, 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 okay. Fine, fine, fine. Thank you. Okay. Now tell me, Vijay. So what output you're expecting? Yes, guys. Come on. What output you are expecting? Srija, look at that. For which class we have created instance? Oh my God. For which class we have created instance, ma? Child C equal to new child. Fantastic, Divya. Good. That's what. Bhumika, please check. Yes, guys. So there are only 3 students in the class? I don't think so. There are 64 students in the class. 64 can answer me. Yes, child class followed by parent class. Now, good, 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 Bhumika. Good, Supriya. Others. I would also like to see from others. Okay, Srija, child, then parent. Srija, did you answer? Acha, Srija gave first parent, then child. Now Srija is giving child, then parent. Okay, good. Yashwant also child, then parent. Okay. Vishal, again, Vishal is giving parent, child, parent class followed by child. Vishal, please check for which class we have created instance. Hmm. Still, still any others? Any others wants to give results? You don't close parent class, sir. Acha, okay, okay. Srikant, thank you, Srikant. Good, good observations. Yes. Okay, I have closed parent, Srikant. Now tell me, Srikant, output. Acha, okay, Supriya, done, resolved. अरे कभी कभी होता है यार, थोड़े छोटा छोटा था चीजा होते रहते ना. हाँ. అవుట్పుట్ చెప్పమంటే చెప్పట్లేదు కానీ చిన్న చిన్న తప్పులు జరిగేసరికి ఇంక రెడీగా ఉంటారు ఇంకా ఫ్యాకల్టీ మీదకి. అంతే కదా సార్, ఎప్పుడు మీదే ఉంటుంది కదా టైం, అప్పుడప్పుడు మాకు కూడా టైం వస్తుంది సార్. ఓకే, ఫైన్. నౌ యూ టెల్ మీ వాట్ ఈస్ ద అవుట్పుట్. సో ఎవ్రీబడి వాంట్స్ టు గో విత్ చైల్డ్ క్లాస్ ఫాలోడ్ బై పేరెంట్ క్లాస్. ఓకే, అబ్సల్యూట్లీ. Finally, who wants to give me the output? What are you expecting? Supriya, Srikant, what is your output? Child parent or parent child? Come on, guys. Why, Vijay? Again, you have changed your output. Sir, I think parent child. Okay, you think. Okay, good, Srija. You again think child parent. No, sir, I don't. I did not change. Okay, Vijay. Okay. Got it. What output you have got? I am parent class constructor. Then I am child class constructor. Guys, please understand very important concept here. Okay, though you have created that's okay, Vijay. Okay, I thought you'll be putting some biscuit packet, all that. Okay, fine. Okay, so here actually, you have created instance for child class, but what happens is this is something beauty which is happening internally. When I use this, parent child inheritance concept, and when we create, uh, you know, uh, objects, all that. Immediately when you create child object also, first it will invoke your parent class. Okay. Why? Why? The reason is the first line of constructor will be written as super. Okay. The first line of constructor will be written as super. Okay. So usually what happens is, so usually this is how it would be written internally. Okay. So by default, JVM is going to write this super keyword. Okay. Super in the sense you first call your super class constructor, then you can call your child class constructor. Okay. Sir, why don't you write the super keyword? Why don't you explicitly write? Okay, let me check. Yeah. Okay. So what error it is given? Call to super must be first statement in the constructor. Okay. So first line of constructor would be written as your super. Okay. So automatically JVM is going to write this super class constructor for us. Right. So that is the reason first you are getting displayed with your parent class, then followed by your child class. Is that clear, guys? Okay. So we have seen super keyword with respect to variable, super keyword with respect to constructor. Now we are left over with super keyword with respect to method. Okay, fine. Now let me remove the constructor from here. I am making modifications in this code itself. What M1, method 1, parenthesis. Usually in Python, we'll have indentation. If we don't follow indentation, then it will give left and right. But here, I have to specify every time to make job easy. So system.out.println, I'm using super class method. Okay. Same code. I'll just make use of method overloading concept here. M1, overriding, not overloading, overriding concept. I am using child class. Overloading or overloading? Which concept is this? మీరు ఏదంటే అదే సార్, ఓవర్లోడింగ్ అంటే ఓవర్లోడింగ్, ఓవర్ రైడింగ్ అంటే ఓవర్ రైడింగ్, రెండు అంటే రెండు. అవునా? ఎస్ గైస్, ఓవర్ రైడింగ్. ఓకే, గుడ్. That's what, because when I said overloading, nobody was telling me, sir, no, it is overriding. I never చెప్పలేదు కదా, అందుకే అడుగుతున్నా. ఓకే. సో okay, coming to child, let me call the c1.yaml. Okay, now tell me which method will be called first? Parent class, child class, or child class, parent class? Yes, guys. Which method will be called first? Child class, parent class? అరే ఇది super.m1 బాబా. super.m1 చెప్పినా కూడా మళ్ళీ అంతేనా ఆన్సర్ మీది? Think. I said super.m1. Very clearly I'm using super keyword there. Still everybody wants to go with child then parent? Okay, fine. What output you are expecting? Oh, something went wrong. Okay, here. Object. Fantastic. Yeah. So, what would be the output? Child parent or parent child? I mean to say super child or okay, let me not use here because again parent terminology. Let me use that because again you will get confused. Huh? Okay. Uh, Child class, then yes sir. First there is a child statement, then the super statement. Very good explanation. What happened? Okay, fine. So here first when I call c dot m1, m1 method is invoked. Okay, where the first statement is I'm using child class method displayed. Then I said super dot m1. When I say super dot m1, immediate method of that parent class will be invoked. Okay, immediate method is parent. Okay, immediate class is parent class. Okay, so m1 method is present in that, so this is getting displayed. Is that clear, guys? Is the concept clear? Yes, please respond. Are you clear with child super class with respect to variable, with respect to method, and with respect to your constructor? Okay, because a lot of times what people do is they just talk about super keyword, they give an example and they'll ask people to work because which is not correct again. Okay, right. Okay, so coming to our next concept, we are left over with one more method called finalizer method. Finalizer method. So this finalizer method most often we use with respect to garbage collection concept. What do you mean by garbage collection, guys? Garbage collection. Yes, guys. What is the use of finalizer? Hmm. So let me tell you, when you go with Java, this is one of the major advantage which we have in Java. What happens is your Java will keep track of all the objects that you create and that we destroy when they are no longer required. Okay. So what Java it is going to do? It is going to keep track of all the objects. Okay, usually we create objects in Java programming, right? So it will keep track of all the objects which we create and destroy. Okay. Why? Because objects are allocated memory in the heap memory, and when they are no longer required, the memory has to be reclaimed, right? Usually you can we are creating a lot of objects, right? Just now we have created 3 objects. Huh? So when they are no longer required, that object has to be freed, or else what happens? What happens, guys? If you don't free the memory, what happens? At a time, you will get a problem where you cannot create a new instance. Okay. So usually what happens in the classroom also, now in the starting days, I was creating, new 2 links. as few objects got they were not joining, so we have freed that memory. Okay, so similarly in the classroom also same thing happens. Okay, they'll look into it. If there are not coming, then they'll free that memory so that other students can occupy that place. So who is going to do this? Okay, sometimes we don't create objects, we create objects but we don't destroy them, right? Now I have created objects from many days. Were creating objects, right? Are we deleting those objects? Are we writing any special functionality for deleting that objects? Did we write anytime? We said create objects, class name followed by object reference name equal to new keyword, then followed by the class name. We have created, right? But we haven't written any code for it, right? Then who is going to do this object deletion, sir? Yes, guys. Again, JVM. Okay, in the sense JRE is going to do this entire process. Java runtime environment is going to delete objects when it determines that they are no longer required in the program. Is that clear, guys? Okay. So your Java runtime environment is going to delete those objects which are no longer required. So, sir, how it happens? Usually, this is internal functionality which is happening. So, a lot of algorithm techniques would be used. So, JVM will use its own set of algorithms to decide when the memory has to be freed. Okay. So, it will take a call and based on that, it will delete that record. It's just like, when you log into some banking application. So after some particular period of time, that it will say like session timeout. If you are not using that application for some couple of minutes, then it will tell session timeout. Boss, please log in again, re-log in. Okay. Why? Now you'll shout onto that bank application saying like, "Hey boss, just now I went for a cup of coffee. Huh? By the time I have returned, you have closed my application, which is not correct." Then it will tell, sir, no, you cannot talk in that way because there are other customers who are waiting in a queue, right? You have logged in, you have gone out, okay. Now other customers are waiting for me. How long shall I wait for your request? It's been almost 25 minutes. You did not return. So I have put session time as 10 minutes. Okay, if you're not doing within 10 minutes, if you're not operating your account, then automatically I'll close your request so that I have to give chance to the other people also. So here also, when you are no longer required of that object, so why should I allocate memory for it? Okay. So internally, JRE is going to do this entire process without our knowing. Okay. So this whole process of reclaiming memory, I'm again using this terminology, CLAMING. Okay, reclaim, CLAI. Okay, reclaiming of memory. Okay, is known as garbage collection. Okay, sir, when is a particular object eligible for garbage collection? Okay, so answer to this question: an object is eligible for garbage collection when no references exist on that particular object. Okay, so when there are no references existing, can either implicitly get dropped or explicitly by assigning null to an object reference also we can do that. Okay. I'll tell you a small story about it, right? About reclaiming of memory. Usually in Java, this is done by JRE help, okay, which is part of JDK again. So how many of you have gone through I'll give you a real-time example. How many of you have gone to Amirpet Center? How many of you have gone to Amirpet centers? You can raise your hand in the chat box. Nobody? At least that Dilshuk Nagar center where you'll have lot of institutes. Okay, somebody have raised hand. Okay, okay, Vijay, Kiran. Okay, have raised hands. Okay, fine. These are some very beautiful places where everybody have to visit, guys. People tell like Amirpet to America. Huh? If you go to Amirpet, you have gone to America, it seems. Uh, okay, so that is a statement where a lot of people use, right? Uh, a lot of people tell, you have not got any job, నీకేం జాబ్ దొరకలేదా అయితే అమీర్పేట వెళ్ళిపో జాబ్ దొరుకుతుంది పక్కా. Because what happens there, I'll tell you exact story. Okay, so in your lifetime before completing your BTech, at least once to understand garbage collection concept, you have to go and stand at Amirpet. సార్ మరి ఇదేంటి సార్ అమీర్పేట్ పోయి నిలబడండి చేయండి ఏంటి సార్ ఈ మాటలు. నై ప్లీజ్ టేక్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ఎ పాజిటివ్ వే. ఓకే, సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు గో టు అమీర్పేట్. ఐ టెల్ యూ సమ్ సెంటర్స్. సార్ మళ్ళీ ఇదేంటి సార్. సో నో, ఐ టెల్ యూ సమ్ ప్లేసెస్. like there is very beautiful place at Amirpet called Maitrivanam, okay, or Aditya Enclave Center, or that famous Satyam Theatre is there. How many of you know these places, guys? No answers in the chat boxes. Okay, Divya said okay, Kiran again. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, few people are raising hands. Okay, I appreciate all those people who have raised hands because you know those places. అరే ఎప్పుడు ట్యాంక్ బండ్, ఈ ఫిలిం సిటీ, ఆల్ దట్ ఐమాక్స్ అవి కాకుండా అప్పుడప్పుడు ఇలాంటి ప్లేసెస్ కూడా తిరగాలి. ఓకే, జోక్స్ అపార్ట్. సో వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్ దేర్ ఇస్ usually because I had experience, so I'm telling. Okay, so I have gone to that places. So I've experienced personally. You go and stand at this places called Amirpet, Maitrivanam, Aditya Enclave, Satyam Theatre. Just stand for 5 minutes, see the beauty what happens there. Okay, don't get disturbed, just stand there as if you are waiting for someone. Wait for 5 minutes, your hands will be full with all the brochures or maybe the pamphlets. Okay, so there would be some person coming and he'll be putting some brochure in your hands, maybe pamphlet in your hands. Okay, if you fold your hands and if you tell no nakoddu, okay, still he says no problem sir, ఇది మీ పాకెట్ లో పెట్టేసుకోండి తర్వాత మీరు రెఫర్ చేయండి. Okay, if you put hand at your pocket also, he'll put you that pamphlet in your pant pocket and he'll leave. Sir na pant ki pocket lev, he'll put in your book or somewhere and he'll leave. Okay, so you have to take that pamphlet at any cost. Fine, you took it. So some people, what they do, they refer it that pamphlet, they'll see what information is there in it. Okay, and few people just throw it down. It is, array, this is not useful to me, I'm just standing for my friend here. Then few people wants to actually join some institute for taking Java training program. Sir, మీరు ఇంత బాగా చెప్పినాక జావా ట్రైనింగ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ మళ్ళీ అమీర్పేట్ పోతామా? Yes, absolutely, you'll again go to Amirpet, you will learn, I know. Okay, at least 50% of people will do this job only. Okay, let's see after this. Okay, హర్ష, వర్షి వీళ్ళందరినీ ఒక్కో సెంటర్ దగ్గర ఒక ఇద్దరిని పెట్టేసి అప్పుడు ఎంక్వైరీ చేస్తాను హౌ మెనీ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ అండ్ అగైన్ లెర్నింగ్ దీస్ కోర్సెస్ అని చెప్పేసి. గైస్, యు ఆర్ రెడీ? ఐ విల్ ఆల్సో బీ దేర్. ఓకే, డోంట్ వరీ. So what you people do is they'll give all these pamphlets and finally few people refer that pamphlets, few people don't refer it, they just throw it on the road. Okay, this is morning times. You go to the same place somewhere at evening 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Okay, 6, 7, at that time you try to visit this place, you'll be surprised that there won't be even a single place, okay, which is empty on the road. Okay, people start walking on those pamphlets itself because there won't be any space on the road. మొత్తం పాంప్లెట్స్ తో ఫుల్ అయిపోతుంది, కాంపిటీషన్. Okay, because that fellows who is going to distribute that pamphlets, Their target is by the time they lunch time, they have to finish off all the pamphlets which are there in their hands at any cost. Okay. Again, that boss will shout out to them. So he keeps on distributing. If you like, if you don't like, also you have to take that poster. That's it, pamphlet. So they distribute, go on distributing, and few people take it, few people throw it down. Okay, so by evening, if you go, that would be full of. Okay, so what is this filled? Now that memory is completely filled with objects, different objects. Okay, different institute names. Okay, different programming languages names, different technology names, different domain area names, different project names. Okay, fine. Now again go to the same place somewhere at midnight at 1 o'clock or maybe 2 o'clock. Okay, hardly after 12 p.m. you go to that place. Okay, night lo kuda places busy gaane untayi. They'll have all hotels, they'll have tea stalls, everything. Huh? People also do some work in the labs. They sit in the labs midnights, also they sit in the labs. Lab facility will be there again for some institutes. Okay. So you go there and try to have cup of tea or coffee at midnight. Now what happens is a team called JRE team will come there. Okay, and you'll be surprised that that entire road would be very clean if you go in the early morning. Early morning you go for a walk at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, you'll be surprised that entire road would be clean without a single pamphlet. You'll ask your friend. Okay, Harsha will ask Yashwant. Okay, Yashwant, మనం వచ్చిన రోడ్ ఇదేనా నిన్న? Yashwant also says, no, I don't think so, this is the road. ఎందుకంటే నిన్న మొత్తం రోడ్ అంతా పాంప్లెట్స్ తో ఫుల్ అయింది, ఇప్పుడేమో మొత్తం నీట్ గా ఉంది రోడ్ అంతా. వాట్ హ్యాపెండ్? సర్ప్రైజ్. Yes, exactly. At late night, there was a team called JRE team. Absolutely, Divya. Divya has answered my question. Okay. So, GHMC team is going to come with all bulldozers, weapons, their Bahubali team laga vachestunde everything. It is coming with all its required things, and it is doing, yes, it is cleaning all the memory which is occupied by the different objects which are no longer required. ఓకే, ఆ హీప్ మెమొరీ ఏదైతే ఉందో అదంతా కూడా మళ్ళీ క్లీన్ చేసేస్తుంది. వై? అగైన్ ఫ్రమ్ మార్నింగ్ సేమ్ స్టోరీ అగైన్. ఓకే, again morning people will come, again those will again distribute pamphlets, everything happens. This is a routine job there. Every day this is a routine job, as we are doing in our programming. Every day we are creating objects. Okay, so that GHMC team at late night, they are going to deallocate all the memory which is allocated by different objects. In the sense, they are reclaiming the memory. This process of reclaiming the memory is known as garbage collection. ఇప్పుడు అర్థమైంది అందరికి what is garbage collection, how it is happening in the real time? I gave you an example. So in Java also that is happening in the form of, with the help of JRE, Java Runtime Environment. Okay, clear? So this Java Runtime Environment has a garbage collector that periodically frees the memory. Okay, on what basis? The objects which are no longer required or no longer needed. So in programming, if you go again, you will have they'll call garbage collection is invoked, actually invoked by system, is capital, system dot gc, garbage collection. Okay, or runtime dot gc. Okay, these are the methods which we call. So what is the advantage of using this garbage collection? Advantage of using garbage collection makes Java, come on guys, Java memory efficient. then automatically done by JVM. Okay, as part of JR. Is that clear, guys? Okay. So in the other way, we can also make use of finalize method. FANALIZ. Finalize method also can be used, okay, in order to release the occupied resources. Okay. So this finalizer method is part of java.lang.object. Okay, guys. So please understand, before an object gets garbage collected, the garbage collector gives the object an opportunity to clean up. Clean in the sense, make free. Okay, by calling a finalize method. Okay, this process is known as finalization. So sometimes, resources will be occupied by sockets, files, database. Okay, so all those connectivities has to be freed, right? Before I close the program, those all has to be freed. Just like when you off your system, you have to close everything. You have to close all the applications, right? So if you don't close at the time of shutdown, it will ask you, boss, there are some applications which are already running in the backend. Okay. So if you don't close them properly, there might be some problem in the later stage. Okay. So here also it is giving us hint, like there are some connections which are open. So do you want me to close that? Okay, right? So here this finalize method is going to invoke each time before an object is going to get garbage collected. Is that clear, guys? So there's a small program which I just want to show you so that you will get to know, like, the theoretical part I've already explained till now. So I just want you guys to execute this program, guys. Okay, I gave one program onto finalizer method. Okay, how this finalizer method is going to call. Okay, so how this system.gc is going to work. Okay, you can work with system.gc, runtime.gc, then finalize method. Three combinations you can work and you can see. Okay, so once the object is destroyed, okay, no longer that object is there. Again, if you call same object, then it will give you error. Okay, already here you said system.gc, in the sense that object got deallocated, memory got freed. Again, you are trying to call that same method, then it will give you error. Okay, so try to create multiple objects and make use of finalizer method. Okay, system.gc, runtime.gc, execute with multiple objects, then you will understand the beauty of garbage collection. Okay, so once after my session, I'll share all this information, documents to you. You can work with super keyword and you can work with finalizer method as part of today. Okay, so please remember, when I say garbage collection in Java, it is done using either finalizer method or system.gc garbage collection, runtime.gc. Main advantages to free the memory and use memory very efficiently, right? So who is going to do? It is automatically done by your JVM, in the sense runtime environment is going to do for you. Okay, so what do you mean by garbage collection again? The objects which are no longer required in the programming. Okay, so that objects, okay, are allocated in the heap memory. That memory has to be freed. In the sense, I have to reclaim that memory. That is done by making use of garbage collection concept in Java. Fine, guys. So that's all for today's session. I've done with two concepts. I'll share the data, everything. Okay, so you can work on the examples. Let's see you all tomorrow in the next session with other new concepts. Till then, stay safe, stay connected. Thank you all. You can leave the call. You can join the next session. If you have any queries, you can mark in the chat box. Else, please practice with the programming. See you all in the next session. Thank you.